People, I think I've found the tiniest, if not the cutest, sewing tool to ever exist. Calling my name from the bottom shelf of my local thrift store, the Singer Tiny Serger. How tiny we talking? This little over-edging sewing machine was produced in the late 90s, early 2000s, at least as far as I can tell, and was kind of a novelty item and has the "as seen on TV" sticker, so you know it's gonna be good. And the idea of a tiny anything really gets my blood pumping. So today, let's test it. Let's see if the hype is accurate. Is there any hype? Is it just me being hyped? And let's make some clothes with the Singer Tiny Serger. What could go wrong? Oh my gosh. Even if it doesn't work, just imagine how cute on a shelf. Now, if you're not familiar with what a serger is, it's a machine that basically makes a finished edge for you. Oh, the shirt I'm wearing. Perfect example. The fabrics are connected and then the edges are encapsulated in an overlock or over edge stitch. It's stretchy, it's durable, and you don't have to hem anything, which I love. Now, specifically, I love just the look of serged hems, serged edges. Exhibit A. I love when it's used as a design feature. So that's what I think we're gonna do this week. We're gonna focus on showing off the edges that our serger will hopefully be able to make something like this, or perhaps like this. I'm very excited. And if you're new to the channel, hello, I'm Kathleen. Welcome. We've been doing a lot of crafting around here recently, which includes upcycling secondhand clothing to better align with our own creative self-expression. Glad you're here. This is bound to be a wild adventure. So let's actually open this thing and test it. I'm really hoping that this thing works and has all the parts, because I don't really know what else we're gonna do this week if it doesn't. Cross your fingers. So the first thing that worries me is that I bought this at a Volunteers of America for $12.99. However, I just noticed that it has a price sticker from a different thrift shop that says $4.99. So there's a strong potential that somebody thrifted this and then donated it back to a different thrift shop. Why? Maybe because it doesn't work. Maybe because they just weren't brave enough. Is there a year on this thing? Oh my gosh. How did she know I wanted to make a duotone vest with an accent thread? It's like it's meant to be. I don't know if you're ready for this. So small, entirely too small. One might even say tiny. We've got the overlocker itself. Somebody very kindly left it kind of threaded for us. We've got the tiniest pedal you've ever seen. Cords, 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 cords. Proof of function. Why does seeing someone else's practice stitches make me misty-eyed? I literally started my period about 2 hours ago, so this is par for the course, I guess. That's a bug. Ooh, that's a bug too. Thankfully, we've got plenty of thread. Navy, gray, the worst colors. I think these are the colors that came with it originally. I'll try stringing these together first so we get that kind of cool tri-colored effect. Assuming it works. Ooh, a 90-day limited warranty. I wonder when that ran out. Wow. This seems daunting. So the thing about this tiny serger is that it's not actually a serger, it's just an overlock machine because it doesn't have a blade in here to cut the fabric. If you're not familiar, when you serge fabric together, there's usually a little knife that will cut fabric away, which makes it a really fast and efficient way to finish items and sew items. But this just does the overlocking stitch, which is fine actually, I think, for what we need, because I love the overlock stitch, one as a finishing stitch, but more specifically as a creative detail. Like, I'm imagining we're going to use this as a visual element. So that's fine. We don't need no knife. Not this time. I'm procrastinating. I'm avoiding the inevitable. I need to get this threaded up and let's get it tested. There's got to be like an 11-year-old YouTube video that will help us with this. Loose needle alert. Gotta stay on your toes. Okay, I'm going to forget that's there for sure. Did the first one, which apparently is the hardest. I couldn't have guessed that. I felt like I was gonna have an aneurysm. Although now I'm thinking I probably should have just used not old as hell cotton thread, because this is almost certainly gonna snap and I'm gonna have to rethread it anyways. Teehee.
Rear guide loop.
I see no rear guide loop, to be so honest.
From front to rear. And
I don't know if you remember, but a couple weeks ago I mentioned wanting to level up my slippers a little bit, potentially with some embroidery, which I did test, but then I thought, why embroidery if not buttons? So I am gonna sew about 50 buttons onto these slippers. And it's gonna be cute, let me tell you. And while I pick said 50 buttons, look at this red and green. Let me tell you about the slippers, and coincidentally, the sponsor of today's video, which is Bombas. Thank you, Bombas. You know I love you. Speaking of cute, I'm gonna be using this nice powdery blue, almost Prussian blue, I would say, embroidered floss, and a needle that's somewhere between a tapestry needle and a normal needle so that I can go through the button holes. Now, you may be familiar with Bombas because of their socks. They make socks for every occasion: hiking, working out, staying cozy at home, but they also make underwear so cozy that it makes you forget you're wearing underwear. Basics like t-shirts and slippers that are gonna make it hard to leave the house. These are the Sunday slippers, and they have a hard bottom so you can step outside in them, which I've definitely been utilizing this winter, and a super cozy Sherpa lining that matches the Sherpa on the outside for cohesive and borderline illegal level of comfort. And it's not just about selling socks and basics with Bombas. For every purchase, an item donated across a network of over 4,000 giving partners in all 50 states. So far that's over 150 million essential items donated. And if you want to try out Bombas and you decide it's not for you, they have a 100% happiness guarantee. So you can make sure you're satisfied with your order, even if it turns out that it's not a good fit. So if you'd like to try it out, you can upgrade your essentials with Bombas using my link. New customers get 20% off their first purchase. Just go to bombas.com/Kathleen and use the code Kathleen20 at checkout. Thank you, Bombas. I don't know how long I was at that, but I think we're threaded correctly. Doodle. I probably should have tested that the battery even works before I... No time like the present. It really feels right that I would use the little test fabric that the previous owner was using. Oh my gosh, she's touchy. What the hell? What's happening? Tension is whack. It works. Besides the obvious mess. Oh, we're about to have some fun. Good morning. Are you ready to cut up some t-shirts? I had serger dreams last night. I just couldn't wait for y'all to wake up so that we could get started. So, here's the plan. I've got two types of garment that I want to try to create with our new tiny serger that's not really a serger. First, y'all know I'm a graphic tee simp, but I have a lot of graphic tees that I don't love the fit of, but I do love the graphic of, including this one, this little thrifted pineapple tee. Yeah, I've expounded before upon my hatred for the heather colorway, you know, the speckly gray. I don't know why, it just really pisses me off. And that's okay. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's fun to be pissed off by things. Anyways, I want to adjust this into a fit that I like a little bit better. There's this upcycle pattern from a designer named Bronte, and I've had this in my Etsy cart for a long time, and now we have a reason to test it out with our new baby serger. We're gonna take up the sleeves, cinch in the body a little bit, and we're gonna leave the seams exposed with the overlocking stitches so that we get a little extra design detail. This will be a test to see how the pattern works out, and if we master the overlocked baby pattern, t-shirt pattern, then we'll move on to something a little more fancy. I found this beautiful pattern. I love this V-shaped kind of handkerchief hem at the bottom, and I thought it would be so beautiful to try and do this with a bunch of different like scrap patterns. I also have a specific shirt in mind that I'd like to cut up and rework for it, so that'll be stage 2. If we can handle a t-shirt, we can handle that, I think. Maybe we'll also make more than one t-shirt. I'm excited. Can you tell I've already had coffee today and I'm about to go have another cup? Don't tell anybody. All right, here's the deal. Got t-shirt, I've got pattern cut out. Now this is, when I took my measurements, this is the size I recommended. It's the size large. However, when I laid it on my existing t-shirt, they're kind of the same size, so I'm wondering if my final product will be a little bigger than I want it to be, which actually is okay, because if it is, we can just trim this down to the next size down and use that for our next project. I just don't want to preemptively trim if the smaller size is actually too snug. You know what I mean? For now, let's cut up this bad boy and see what happens. I want you to know that you're about to be changed, but to be changed is to be loved, okay? I don't love you how you are right now. This is conditional love for sure. This shirt has a certain smell. It's not a bad one, it just always, you know, I actually don't know if you could see me for any of that clip. We're cutting it up, that's all there is to say. Why are my cutting mats always the most difficult to retrieve places? I don't know if I'm gonna have enough fabric. I don't have enough fabric in its current format. For example, this little corner right here for the sleeve, there's no fabric underneath it, so we need to fill that. But luckily, we've got this strip at the bottom that's just gonna be scrap. So we'll use this to fill that. What a perfect use for a little tiny serger to quickly connect a couple pieces of patchwork fabric. We can't be stopped. Okay, we can't be stopped because I don't know where my rotary cutter went. Hold please. Ooh, yeah, that's the good stuff. Allow me to quickly patchwork this together. I'm gonna keep the threads visible on the outside. One. This is so cool. Patchworked. One of the strings came loose. Let's restring it! I don't know how long it's been. I'm guessing at least 30 minutes. We had to do some surgery, and I wouldn't say it's not botched. I'd say it's pretty botched, pretty chopped in a way. That's okay though. We've got our back piece with our tiny little added panels on the armpits for some added space. We've got our front piece. Had to add some tiny little panels to the top as well as the armpits. There is a hole here that we may need to patch later, unless it looks cool as a whole. These are things we will decide at the end. So we're gonna sew up the sides on the front and back pieces and the tops of the shoulders. I'm trying to decide if I want to have visible seams for those. I think that would be cute. Okay, let's try and do visible seams for all of the seams on the first one, and then we can decide if we want to dial it back in the future. This is all an experiment, people. Don't forget. I love how I'm working at the tiniest little corner of desk possible. I could move. I could always move. Yippee, 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 yippee. As much as I hate pinning things and usually like to chaos sew without it, the shirt's already so chaotic that I'm feeling like pinning is gonna help us put lipstick on this pig, and we love a pig and lipstick. Honestly, maybe we should all sew our shirts inside out, especially for those of us who don't like to have seams on the inside of our clothing. Kind of a game changer. I have a feeling this one's gonna have a bit of a holy armpit. That's okay. What happened? If I have to rethread this thing one more time, oh my god. So the needle decided to just unthread itself? Didn't know you could just decide to do that. Good news, I fixed it, and we almost got through one entire side of one singular t-shirt without it getting tangled. I think you like to see me suffer. Think fast. Sorry, did I scare you? I mean, it's all connected at this point. Certainly some ventilation holes happening here. But as for fit, I mean, pretty cute. Definitely babyfied, which is what we wanted. I think the little overlocked seams on the side and on the top are super nice. Okay, I'm gonna pop the collar and the sleeves in, and then we'll discuss next steps. I also just realized I think I'm hungrier than I've ever been in my entire life. I've been in a fugue state, fueled by anger and pure craft energy. So I'll fix that, but after I fix this. We're not going there. Good morning for real. Before we get back into adjusting, Frankensteining t-shirts, I'm gonna pick up some chairs. I'm gonna pick up the chairs. You're here for moral support. BRB. Two of these, and they were free. Cold. I'm gonna hear something that's a cause for celebration for me, and maybe you could be happy for me for once in my life. The barista at the coffee place remembered my name, and also she remembered that I like to put a little sleeve on the cold drinks because my hands get cold. I even brought my own this time, and she already did it for me. Shout out Marie. Thank you, Marie. You want to know the story behind this koozie? It's sentimental. Between my junior and senior year of college, I did an internship in San Jose, California. I'd never been to California before. I was such a little Midwestern girl at heart. I'd only been on a plane like 2 times maybe, and I went out to California for the summer with a bunch of strangers, and I was like, oh, I am gonna have to make friends. So the house I was renting was in Japantown in San Jose, if you're familiar. Oh, one of my favorite places on earth. And there's a coffee shop called Roy's. It's an old gas station, Roy's Station. And the gumption of 19-year-old Kathleen, crazy. I walked in there and I just talked to the baristas and I was like, hey, you guys want to be friends? You guys want to be friends for the summer? And they were my friends. They took such good care of me. It was so sweet. That girl was brave and I'm proud of her. It's also worth saying that the people that I interned with, still some of my closest friends. And I still work with a bunch of them too. Hi, if you're watching. I don't know how to do this one. My millennial hands. Okay, let's go. Alright people, let's talk about where we landed with the pineapple shirt yesterday. Where are you? Oh, and discuss what we might do differently next time to make it a little bit better. I'll be right back. Here she is. A little more fitted, a lot more covered in visible seams, and a little messed up. I think I halfway did the right size. I'm gonna need to, I guess, size smash going forward, I think, because I like how it fits here. Not too tight. I do wish the torso was a little tighter. And this is going to be the real kicker. I think the main thing I do not like about this fit is that the shoulders still feel a little, just feels like a normal t-shirt. It's a little schlumpy, you know? And I think part of what makes a baby tee cut look extra kind of current and fresh is that the shoulder usually is pulled in just a little bit, and that's how you get that really nice shape on the sleeve. Like the shoulders are just a little micro sized, you know? So I think if I pinch out about an inch on each shoulder, we'll get the sleeves hiked up a little bit into the shape that I like, and it'll be good. And I think I'd also like my neckline to be thicker next time. I do want to repeat this pattern with the size adjustments, but I want to do that later because right now I have a whole separate top pattern that I want to try. It's the orally top. Oh, that neckline. Ooh, it's going to be good. I ran out of normal printer paper, so we have a bit of a rave happening with my pattern. I'll spare you the boring process of cutting this out and taping it together. Just kidding, I'm awake. I'm not a sleepy girl anymore. It's not my thing anymore. Got my shirt pattern. It is incredibly simple. Front, back, sew up, seams. Which means our next step is to patchwork some strips of fabric together. I've got a couple options picked out. I want to know what you think. But first, listen, if I have to rethread this baby serger, tiny serger, little tiny baby, little serger, many more times, I'm gonna lose it. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe it's gonna get easier every time. I have the capacity to grow. Goal today is to make something like this. Patchwork, scrappy top. I've been wanting to make a shirt like this since probably 2020 or thereabouts. Do you remember when they were just really having a moment? Kind of the time that the warpy checkerboard was. It's funny that that feels kind of like dated if you're thinking about just like the style trends, mainstream vibes. I love an exposed hem. I love a raggy look. I'm excited to finally do it. We're making my dream come true today. One of the stipulations for this pattern specifically is that you have to use a stretch fabric or else it won't fit over your head or over your body, which does change the fabrics that we're going to be able to use. Luckily, I've been hoarding some stuff, so we've got some stretchy options. I want to do a really pattern clashy, texture clashy kind of statement shirt. So speaking of warpy checkerboards, this like referee polo I got in my Stray Kids styling video. Here's the thing, polo neckline, never been a favorite, so I have no problems cutting this up into something that I will wear. A little lacy number. Now this has zero stretch. I guess we'll just have to see, you know? But I think this combination of textures is gonna be kind of fire. I kind of want to inject a statement color too, like a really bright color. This feels pretty muted to me. I'll think about it, but for now, I just need to make a block of serged strips. Okay. 1 hour later. I love how this combination turned out. It's very old school Versace, I would say. Patchworking.
That looks so cool.
Is
Whoa.
that button up?
The hell? This is sweet. That's like high fashion, dude.
So the back panel, I used the button kind of placket from the lace shirt. So now it has buttons all the way up the back. In case the fabric isn't stretchy enough to go over my head, we can always button it up. I'm scared to cut into this, but we must do what we must do. I'm going to leave a little extra space on the sides, and we can always pinch it in if we need to. My friend just texted me and said, "Do you want this?" She's at the thrift store. Yes, obviously I want that. How does she know? She says, "Wow, yay, shut up, screaming wow. So beautiful." Get you a friend who gets it, you know? I've got the shoulders sewn up, so let's try and pop this over my head, see how desperately small the neck opening is. Although who knows, maybe it'll fit just fine. I was not expecting that to fit over my coconut. Wow, okay, this neck is aggressive. Wait, am I cooking? And I think we're done, at least with this top. Okay, it's 90% done. I love this combination of patterns. And the polka dot colors match the thread colors? Are you kidding me? So I was trying it on a little bit last night and I discovered that you could wear it front ways or back ways if you want to. Like this, with the buttons in the back. Oh, so good. And by the way, the original pattern has that kind of pointy handkerchief hem, but I honestly like this uneven strip look that we would lose if we cut it into a triangle. So for now, I'm gonna leave it like this. Maybe I'll change it in the future, but I think it adds such a fun visual detail. Okay, or you can wear it the other way. If you want to use it as more of like a little layering piece and you can play with how high you button it or don't button it. Let's just do a whole outfit right now. Why not? I am a court jester, but like in a cool way, obviously. This is the kind of clown vibe I'm into. Not so much this, a lot of much this. Imagine, paired with these jaunty little blurry plaid heels, like on a date to the symphony or something. Oh, incredible. Did I miss a button in the back? Probably. I also like wearing this little frilly shirt underneath because it gives more structure to the collar. It's a little floppy, but with this peeking out, maybe folded over, I mean, adorable. This shirt is now a prized possession and you will be sick of me wearing it. So like I said, it's the last day and I want to make 2 more shirts if I can swing it. They're going to be a lot more simple than this. First, I want to make another one of these tops, but not patchworked, just using the plissé fabric so that it's basically this shirt, but just in a slightly different silhouette that I like more. And then I want to take another stab at the t-shirt using the learnings from the pineapple t-shirt. So let's cut up some fabric. I know the majority of this video has just been me in this room cutting up and sewing together fabric. Thanks for being here. I know it's a lot of the same, but hopefully it's just been a calming little respite for you. Speaking of calming, my camera is about to die, so that's really good. It a little bit. It's not as sleek as I initially thought this was going to be, just like front and back panel, but it does mean we have this fun mixed pattern that's almost like a checkerboard, but they're both plissé, so they're very similar. It's like a very textural contrast. Listen, the last couple steps of this process have been a little tenuous, a little stressful. Things were getting a bit frantic, and I think I know the reason. Gus is playing Arc Raiders. The reason is I'm hungry, so I made a slop bowl, and I think this will heal me. So this ungodly beast is going to enjoy its wretched meal, and I'll get back with you when the shirt is all sewn up, okay? Here, have a blueberry. Slop ingested. And now I think I'm brave enough to rethread this serger. Did I or did I not say that I never wanted to rethread this serger again? Did I or did I not? Or did I do? I dude. However, life isn't fair, so we will be rethreading. What if I just am able to thread them all, like first time, first try? It could happen. The first one is the hardest one, so let's hold on to that truth. What hand do I use? Oh, baby. That's what it's like to be a winner. If I can do this in under 5 minutes, we'll consider that a win. 2 down. The last one's the easiest one because it's just threading the needle. Am I about to eat my words? Perhaps. A little saliva for good luck. Never hurt nobody. Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Oh, cry a little, cry a little. If you guys weren't like sitting so close to the serger, this might be a little easier for me, but I get it. It's an educational situation. That's it. Okay, we're at 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Let's test it. Let's go. She's perfect. It's like nothing ever even happened. It's not a good moment when you find the cover for your X-Acto blade. Nude and dangerous. Who would have thought extremely stretchy and fray-y material would be difficult to work with?
Oh shoot, watch out.
Is this the coolest thing I've ever made? I feel like I'm wearing armor. I feel like I'm in the Matrix. I feel like my pants are falling down again. I think the mismatchy patchworking, especially on the front, is so cool. And I also love the super high neckline. The fabric is soft, so it won't make me want to go on a rampage, I don't think, after wearing it for a long period of time. I think I'm just going to do a little zigzag stitch around the holes to lock the edges, and we're groovy. This bootleg Isimiaki inspired shirt is everything to me. It's everything to me. It combines everything I love. A sculptural silhouette, a plissé, a mixed texture, while still celebrating the handmade vibe of it all. So I love when it's obvious that your clothes were made by a human. I want it to look, I don't know, like a puzzle that was solved. So I paired it with this also equally mixed textural vintage skirt. This slaps. We're doing a little Valentine's Day date tonight, and I'm like, is this the look? Plus clean hair and probably not slippers. I just feel really myself, and I'm proud of myself for learning a new skill. I think more than anything, the skill that I learned was threading that tiny serger, not even necessarily using it because it's pretty straightforward, but really learning how it works and why it works. Those are incredible little machines, and it's cute. Second blouse complete. Let's finish things up with the redemption of the t-shirt. I've got dreams of a little tiny pumpkin baby tee. Let's talk about it. But first, hey Gail. She's the queen of the hillside. Not a thought to be found in the general vicinity. Okay, here's the deal with pumpkin shirt. I've got the front, I've got the back. And this time, I'm not cutting out the collar. I'm gonna see if I can just preserve the existing collar because I like it. So all we have to do is sew up the sides and sew in the sleeves. I think this is gonna be pretty tight. Not a bad thing. It's just gonna be what it is. I love how these little sleeves turned out. They're so perfectly triangular, which is exactly what I wanted. And the good news is, my little technique of leaving the collar on and just cutting out the front and back pattern pieces worked just fine. Imagine that. I figured that the collar that's here is probably better than anything that I would do anyways. Wow. Man, I love these sleeves. You know, working with this tiny serger is reminding me of this shirt that I got at a garage sale. Here, come with me if I can find it. Literally the first place I looked. That's rare. It's this little vintage Jane Fonda workout shirt. It's a stretchy ribbed material, but it's literally just a front panel and a back panel, and it's just serged around every side. Like, it's the most paper doll, simple little silhouette. And I've always loved how simple it is, and I've been inspired to make something similar. So this is crazy. I'm really excited to have a tool that can accomplish something like this now. Man, who knows what I'm gonna make next? Okay, people, it is time to talk about what we made. We completed a total of four pieces with our tiny serger. And she held up great. That little machine, she is loud, she has a big voice and a lot of thoughts, but she does what she's supposed to. Oh my gosh. Critique for the machine, at least. I really hated threading it, that's for sure. But every time I got a snag or a thread snapped, pit in my stomach, knowing what was coming for me. Now, I have nothing to compare this to because I've never used a babylock or another type of serger, so they're probably all equally annoying to thread. But I would like to hope that maybe in the big year of 2026 that we've come up with a different way of threading these things. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and maybe you're all laughing at me with mirth and derision. That's fine. At least for my needs right now, tiny serger is perfect. I don't need anything much crazier, I don't think. My only question is maybe I would use thicker fabrics, like if I wanted to cut up a blanket to make something out of it, or a sweatshirt. Would it be able to handle it? I don't know. That might be the biggest question that we'll have to solve in the future. But wow, is this not the cutest thing you've ever seen? She is smaller than my head, or maybe perhaps exactly the same size. Twin. Another critique, which is also maybe a good thing, this thing is so simple. It just does the one over-edging stitch. There's no settings to change besides the tension knobs. And maybe that's all you really need, at least for right now. I really love her. I'm so glad she found me in the thrift store so long ago. I've had this serger in the background of my videos. You've probably seen it for an embarrassing amount of time. And I don't know what's really kept me from using it. I've been scared. I know the feeling, it was fear. Let me show you these shirts. This guy's crazy. Our first practice piece, our Hug a Banana baby t-shirt. Banana? It says pineapple. Am I okay? Anyways, this was great to learn on. She is imperfect, but I do still love her. Cute. The colorful seams do make me hate Heather a little bit less. I'm very confident that I could go in and just seal these holes up pretty easily. And for our second try, This is a sexy little pumpkin shirt. I don't know what else to say. I posted a picture of the tiny serger next to this shirt before I'd cut it up, and everyone was like, no, not your giant pumpkin shirt. You know what this is? It's a stack of pumpkin shirts. I'm a bit of a collector, so never fear. Giant pumpkin shirt is still alive and well. I think this would be so cute, which is like a big tiered maxi skirt, some boots, denim jacket, all times of year, of course. And the subtle detail of the colorful threads from the serger, really fun. I wanted to try this jestery one over top of a button-up for more of a layering look. Cute. Oh, I feel like a page boy. I feel like medieval court politicking is in my future. I really like pulling the shirt a bit to the side so we get kind of a ruffle while still playing with the multi-level marketing of all of these different strips. At first, when I was going to make this strippy, patchworky kind of showstopper shirt, I thought we were going to go crazy with all the colors and the textures, but I'm kind of glad that we stayed neutral. I know the patterns are pretty loud, but as far as colors go, it's very creamy. I think the polka dot colors are a sleeper hit too. They match pretty much perfectly with the thread colors from the overlocker. For my first try at this pattern, not bad. No big holes, everything fits. And then I thought for our second version of the tank top, it was going to be so simple. We're just going to have a front piece and a back piece and slap them together. As we know, that is not what ended up happening, but I love the end result. I hope me saying that this being inspired by Issey Miyake isn't making him roll over in his pleat and plissé covered grave, but I just love a stretchy pleat, and I just love a sculptural top mixed with the slight patchworking of the different textures, the different transparencies. I left this little seam unhemmed because I liked the fluttery nature up here. This just feels kind of dark and romantic, and I kind of feel also like a medieval shield, you know? So take this as a sign. If there's a piece that you're like, I wish that existed, maybe you can make it. Maybe you could smash together a couple patterns or ideas and bring at least some sort of version of it to life. And of course, I'll have the patterns that I used in the video linked down below if you want to try them yourself. And I think kind of the unsung hero of this whole video, my freaking spiral slippers covered in dog hair. Wow. We did it, everybody. We answered the question, does the tiny serger work? Yes. Is it the cutest sewing implement you might have ever seen? Undoubtedly. I love you. I also learned that there are caps that you're supposed to put on top of the thread to keep the tension tight. That might have been helpful. Crazy what you learn when you actually look at the instruction booklet at the end of your 4 projects. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this week. I feel like this week's video was very much like, here's what we're doing, here's how I'm doing it, and not so much of like the whimsical B-roll and side plots that I usually inject. So thanks for being here, even though it was a little bit different. Maybe you didn't even notice that. Maybe it's just different to me. I think part of that was just learning a new tool and learning these new patterns. I was really focused on just what we were doing and didn't feel like I had a lot of extra brain space to just dilly-dally. We are more than halfway through February, so it's a good time to remind you that I am currently selling a digital wallpaper pack on my website. It's technically the February pack, but there's a version of it that doesn't have February on it if you're interested in using it year-round. But all proceeds this month are going to be going to Chris, Ohio, which is a local refugee and immigration support group. And if you're interested, it'll be linked down below. So thank you so much to everybody who's already purchased one. Really appreciate it. And I'll be using a corporate match at the end of the month to double whatever total profit we make. Very exciting. We're hundreds of dollars in so far. I think we have like $600. So that'll be $1,200 or more. We're not even to the end of the month yet. Who knows what's going to happen? No pressure though, if that's not for you. Let me know down below if you've ever gotten a crafting or sewing tool from the thrift store, maybe even a super zany one that you weren't sure was going to work. How did that go? What did you find? Let me know if you're also on a sewing or making journey like I am. This definitely added points and experience to my goal of just increasing my sewing know-how and skill. And if there are any specific tools that you'd like to see me try, let me know down below as well. I'm game for a challenge. I might not be good at it, but I will try. Also, I'm going to be traveling soon. I'm heading to the Bay Area, San Francisco to be specific. So if y'all have any good places I should go, check out. I'm thinking like secondhand bookstores, stationery stores, anything really. Drop your recs down below. I am all ears. And if you want to come hang out during the week, between videos, you can do that on Instagram at Kathleen Illustrated. Thank you for hanging with us, me and my new little baby best friend. What's that? She says you're very stinky and that's why she loves you. Oh my gosh. I hope you're taking care of yourself. I love you and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye!